Doo-doo-doo. Hello everyone, Monday evening live stream as promised. We're going to start with making sure the audio is up and running whilst I grab the tablet so I can see the chat and my pretty face at the same time. Right, so just got to get this up so I can see the chat. Turn the volume down so we avoid the feedback and go from there. Got one on the screen. Come on, little tablet. I know you're 4 years old, but I think you can probably get this together for me. 2 watching. Hang on. Got to get this one up to get the comments. Right. Hey, we've got Dave and Jimmy both saying hello. So, I'll ask you a question. What made you subscribe to my channel or click on the live stream link? And were you waiting for me to do this since I've had a couple of test videos go up and down the last couple of weeks? I've definitely got to work on my workspace. That's not going to work, is it? I don't want that one. I want the other. Spark Apprentice. Have you asked me, or have I talked to you before? Must have done. You're interested in the 18650 projects. Well, it's kind of good, Dave, because because I'm about to try and finish off the project for before the end of the year, because when January starts I want to have at least 9 kilowatts of usable Powerwall sort of connected up. I'm at a loss for the solar panels, or increasing my wattage count on the PV side, and I'm also stuck for the inverter at the moment because cash flow is tight. But I'm sure, well, I've survived this year on just a 600 watt inverter for the off-grid stuff, which does well. It does all the does TVs, laptops. This whole setup at the moment is off-grid, so the laptop, which you see my face on, is off-grid. It's only a notebook. Tablet is plugged in off-grid. The lights you see off-grid. It's probably pulling about, hang on, what we got on? 48 for 100. And the light out there. Probably putting about 150, 200 watts at the moment, which is not bad for my little inverter. Oh dear. back to front. To get used to it. So my Powerwall is just going to be based on 60 cell packs or thereabouts. Some of these packs, as you'll see with this one, will be actually smaller than 60 cell, because I've reached the 120 amp hour cap that I want for each pack to keep them fairly in balance. I just couldn't hack typing in 60 times 7 cells into Repacker just to get a fully balanced pack by way of number of cells. So instead I'm balancing it with overall capacity and omitting 4 to 6 cells if needed. I don't think this will be a problem. I think it will be just fine. And if anyone's waiting for a proper video on this, then I will get round to it by the time I've finished the next 21 packs. You got yours in the shed. Yeah, mine's going to be in the shed. Last year got overshadowed by the fact that I found a couple £100 worth of rock wool insulation in a skip, so I insulated the entire shed. But the only problem is keeping it at a ambient temperature, because once it's cold in there, it's cold. So last year I was experimenting, didn't do too many videos on it, with using waste vegetable oil and a burner, like an oil lamp, to keep the ambient temperature in there about 12-14 degrees. We had a bad winter, and I don't think it dipped below 10 degrees in my shed the whole winter, because it's got to be a certain temperature for the lithium, I guess. But yeah, I will be doing some adaptations to the shed, maybe super insulate one corner ready for the Powerwall, or multiple Powerwalls. Stuck in wrong live stream. Was that my fault, or was that someone else's live stream? Yeah, I was late because I had a phone call from my mother. She'd just gone on holiday, so all good plans, trying to get here on time, and my mum rings. That's right. Been chatting elsewhere. Where's the debate then? Dave used a old freezer to heat it up. How do you mean that? As in the heat produced from the cooling process, or I'm lost. Oh, you're in now, right? Can dip below 0. Colin says lithium cells dip below 0, but it's a bad idea to charge them when it's that cold. Yeah, I noticed. I haven't done it with the lithium or lipo or lithium ion. But if I just move a few things out of the way here, I will hold up on the small camera my lithium iron phosphate pack, which is still running. It's been in several different configurations, but when I took that to camping place, Leversham Station in Yorkshire, and it was pretty cold, and I was using it to heat a 12 volt 50 watt electric blanket, which worked perfectly. One night it was so cold I got nothing from the battery, nothing, but the following morning it sort of recovered and there was power available. Oh, so I had a live stream lobby. No, I weren't there. Was it set up as a scheduled thing? Because I was mucking around on my phone about 5 o'clock and I thought I cancelled it. It can be grim up north, but it can also be pretty nice as well. So I'm going to attempt to not do what I did with my first pack of this 7, which is exactly the same mistake that I made with the first pack of my first 7, which is actually up on the wall in my shed but not in service yet. So still running on a sub 1800 milliamp basis. All my sub 1800 milliamp cells are in a temporary pack. Some are soldered, some are spot welded, mostly hot glued together, but it's still in service. But what I'm trying to avoid doing is this, where I've actually spot welded this all together but left the writing on the outside. So I'm going to try and omit that in this one, but what I'll do is I'll hide this pack at the back so you won't see it. Oops. Oh, I scheduled it. Okay, right, fair enough. I thought I cancelled it and cleared the, because I was mucking about because there's so many options and settings, and something did go wrong. Yeah, so Colin had his in the shed originally, and he's now put his in his garage, which is nice. Wish I had a garage. Are we saying that Colin's further north than Adam Welch? Well, I'm sort of, if you picture London, I'm down to the right near the coast sort of thing, near the Thames and the Medway Estuary, that sort of way. I could put it in here. It's an ambient temperature all year round. It's currently, oh, I can't because I've just depowered it. It was an ambient 14 degrees in here earlier, and in the winter, when I was actually starting this project, it was an ambient of 9 degrees. So it never froze, and there's no heating or anything down there. It's just me and my movements. So that's not too bad. Yeah, I'd like to keep it in the shed, because if it goes pop or catches fire, then I only lose a shed. If it goes wrong down here, then I probably wouldn't have, the house insurance probably wouldn't cover it, for one. And it's a little bit inconvenient to lose your house. So I take it that we haven't got any sound issues this evening after the last test. I haven't touched anything since I done that first time around. Need a thing. Actually, have we got enough light here? It's a bit dull in here, is it? Let's turn that other light on. And wait 15 seconds for the stream to catch up. Oh, you need a deal. Yeah, deal Dover, yeah. Sheds are safer, definitely. Dave says sheds are safer. I think sheds are safer. So Adam's in Leeds. Colin is further north still. Insurance. Yeah. Insurance. If there was to be an accident and my house caught fire and it was of no fault of my own, then chances are insurance would pay out for like rebuilding or renovating that area. Hopefully. Sound is good. Brilliant. That laptop's going to stay up there forevermore, and I'm never going to unplug anything. Has anyone seen a power wall burn down, especially in someone's house? Says Adam. I should imagine they'd probably try and keep it as quiet as possible, so they did get the insurance payout, I guess. They wouldn't broadcast the fact that they've had a failure. I've since been on the I'm on the DIY Powerwalls Facebook page and also JHO's, and I've seen some very scary things that people are putting together. And not only that, I've seen some pictures of the people and the burn marks associated with charging the lithium primary cells. Admittedly, I have found an odd lithium iron phosphate and charged it to 4.2. It just died. Didn't burn up. This is actually quite fiddly. I normally put this entire pack on my lap, but obviously because I need to make sure there's something interesting in shot, it kind of makes it a little bit more fiddly. Magic. Oh no, squashed it. I'm not actually gonna. I haven't actually bothered gluing or anything these packs together. I just let the friction hold them together. Wait for that to steady up. Should we do the front or the back first? No, I haven't heard any like major failures. There was someone. Who was the chap who? One of the first chaps in England to do their Powerwall. Didn't he have an accident that could have burnt his house down? He lost a pack, and then one of his other packs overcharged quite substantially. I don't know who that was, but some of his individual cells were quite showing the heat damage and yeah. But I'm more worried about the people that are doing this, but not putting the time in to watch a few videos first. I mean, I started dismantling laptop batteries before Powerwall was a thing for various light projects and things, and all I had was the IMAX B6. I ended up buying 3, and I could only like process 6 cells a day. Nah, it's always a worry. If someone has an accident and then they make it all our fault. Where did I put? I've tied it up. Ooh. Some of them. Is there any questions about my Powerwall or how I want to do things, or are you just seeing how things develop as we go? The phone box behind me has got my little tiny 3D printer in, just to try and keep the noise down, because believe it or not, the lounge is above, but the bedroom's above that, and I can feel the 3D printer if I leave it on overnight. I can feel it when I'm laying down in bed, and it's really annoying. So no batteries in there. I've got batteries everywhere else. If I lean out of the way and wait 15 seconds for the stream to catch up, I've got 120 amp hours, 120, 120, 43, 120 and 120 there. So that's almost the third set. Oh, and I've got another 120 amp hours there, and the rest of the packs are weights at the moment, because I'm gluing down the nickel strip onto the 4x5 cell holders ready, and then putting the weights on top to make sure it sticks, because the first round I did when I was spot welding the fuses, because there was no filling on these cell holders, when I was pushing down to spot weld, it was creating wrinkles in the nickel strip, and it sort of wound me up a little bit. So I'm gluing it all down ready rather than doing it as I go. And it's only silicone, but it's quite good. It's good enough. So using the 709A spot welder, set on 4.5 currently, and 6 pulses, because I can't remember my exact settings, so we'll have a go at that. And using a fibrous cell top ring. Some of the cells you get these little plastic ones, they're no good. Just a little fibrous one as a spacer to make sure it don't short out amongst itself. It seems to be working fine just so far. It's done 8 lots of 60 cells, so certainly fine. Now I think we're just starting a random spot, and I normally spot weld that way around up towards the tip. So make sure you're in shot. I'm going to pick somewhere in the pack that is actually on the table. How big is my power going to be? Kilowatt hour? Kilowatt wise. Well, the maths says I have enough to build 21 of these, which is 3 lots of 7. Each one of these 60 cell packs is roughly 440 watt hours, giving us a little over 3.1 kilowatts per 7 packs. So we're looking at 9 kilowatt hours currently, but I have culled the bottom and the top capacity wise. So my sub 1800 milliamp cells have gone into my temporary power wall, which has been running for over a year now, with cells added over time. And my super high capacity cells, I don't want to put into my nice pack. So I've got some anything above 2.6 really. Got 2.9 amp hours, or 2,900 milliamps, 2,860. These are all going in another project sooner or later. So I've taken out about 200 cells at the top and probably about 100 cells at the bottom. So I've lost the opportunity to go for 12 kilowatts at this moment in time. But I have other avenues to pursue for more cells, and I hopefully want to go for 12 kilowatts to, like, 12 kilowatts will be a nice size to have. Nope, we're still not ready, are we? Because we need a foot pedal on the floor. Without a foot pedal, you have to think. Of course the foot pedal goes around every other cable that's on the workbench, because I'm not a tidy soul. How do you pronounce the channel name? However you want. It was when I set up a YouTube channel, it was only for subscribing and saving the videos into the favourites, so that I could go back and show my friends all the funny videos. And they didn't have anything to do with my name, so I just chose one of the random name generations that they gave me, and I started uploading with that name, so it kind of stuck. Oh, this isn't going to work either because I'm off grid. I've got to go back on grid because the spot welder doesn't work on a 600 watt inverter. So we're back again. It didn't go dark in here, did it? It just doesn't work. It doesn't trip it out. It doesn't alarm. It doesn't. It's just the spot welder just does not work on an inverter. A little tiny inverter, yeah. Ooh, a bit much. Right, so I'm just going to push this into shot. Now I've kind of about there. Oh, where did it come from? What, the name? I'm not sure. My friend always used to call me Pietka. Something to do with a Little Britain sketch, where Pietka was his mother's name. But I never found it, so I was known as Pietka for a while. I have no links to Russia. It's just secondary school antics. How much are these batteries? Which batteries are we talking about? Are we talking about the ones I'm spot welding now, or the big ones that I had up on show a little while back? The 38 120s. Oh wow, we're half hour in already, and all I've done is put 60 cells into holders, pop a top on, and spot weld 4 fuses. It's progress. So what I want to do going forward is figure out how I can get the chat window into my video. It might not help you because you've probably got your own chat along the side of your video anyway, but if someone was to re-watch this video, then they probably wouldn't have half a clue what we're talking about chat wise as it goes down. So I've got to figure out if I can do that for next time, because I'm not very good at reading out the comments and then answering. I keep catching myself out. But I will ask, who's next to do a live stream? Who's going to be brave enough? I've not seen the live chat replay on the options. Oh, the chat does know replay. Oh, it didn't when I was trying to rewatch the test I did yesterday. Maybe I don't have to worry about it too much. But what I do think I want to. Damn, this is hard. I do something and talk. It's almost impossible. I'm not particularly a talkative type anyway. Used to be loud, I'm not loud anymore. I've seen that saved live streams. So you've seen it as well. Connie needs to do one. Yeah, Connie needs to do one. I need to do one. Adam needs to do one. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, hour each. I appreciate this is probably not a very good viewing angle for people watching. But I will endeavour to improve these things if I am to do another live stream. And I keep looking at the tablet to the chat, not at the camera at the top. So you can probably see the top of my head. Oh, that's much. Getting warm down here. This is hard work. I think why am I putting the fuses on diagonal? I guess because it feels a bit much there. I've blown one up. Yeah. I guess it's because it actually feels like it works out better. I'll just get this last one on here, and I'll go through it, because obviously you can see these are all taken pretty well. But what I find is, if you are spot welding a second one along the side of it, so I'll pick one in the middle as an example. I normally do one side then do the other. But what I can do is bend them both into a point. And this is probably not going to work now I've said it. But I bend them into a point in the middle, staggered roughly with the middle of the next cell. And when I spot weld, they come up quite nice. Now, do I dare move that camera? Yeah, we'll have a go. I'll bring you in for a closer look. It works out quite well, I think, and obviously I have to hold it here as still as I can for about 15 seconds for the stream to catch up, because it sucks. I could have shown you this one instead. It ends up looking quite respectable. I just gotta wait for it to catch up again. So it's not too bad. I think it looks quite nice, and it doesn't put too much strain on the glass cells, glass fuses. And I admit I jumped on the glass fuse bandwagon because people have seen my soldering, and my soldering is not very good. I've tried to improve my soldering. I don't think I'll ever be a pro solderer. Yes, one of them. So it's kind of like I go with the easy option, and luckily this channel has provided a certain amount of income, enough to cover some of these extra outgoings, such as the spot welder, the materials for this project, and obviously the newest addition, the 3D printer. I'm going to end up with a hedgehog again, aren't I? Let's snip a few of these off. Oh, I'm not looking at them. I don't think. I think it's the light, not a bald patch. I hope it's not a bald patch. Anyway, my granddad went bald at 26, and I've passed that now, so I should be good for a couple of years. One bit change. Yeah. Yeah, I got recommended all sorts of soldering irons, and nobody could agree. There was two camps. You get a small digital one with lots of settings, or you just get a fat soldering iron. And I went with the fat soldering iron, and yeah, it does put the heat in pretty quick. And but then I became quite nervous about putting that much heat on a cell, judging by my soldering skills and that. How do people snip these? I just do that and they fly, mostly. Yeah, that's enough of that. You get on. yeah, I get on with it quite fine. Just suddenly you get a little bit more respect for these cells, and you think, nah, I might go this route. Oh, that one didn't take. If anyone... no, I've lost my train of thought. It's because I've forgotten to drink my tea and it's gone cold. Yeah, it's a poker, but it goes around corners. Not too bad. Should I really be using some sort of fume nah, that one's gone as well. Fume extraction when I'm spot welding. It's not something I've thought about actually. Oh dear. I'm sort of damaging about 5 glass fuses per 60 cell pack normally, because I do this when I'm tired or I bend it too far. It doesn't take long to get the knack for this. Sometimes you feel you just got to hit it twice just to get it spot on. The first pack I did was a practice pack, and I ended up like spot welding through the nickel strip. But this isn't too bad. Oh, I've probably gone out of shot, but I'll be back shortly. There's 2 places where I've got my cells from. One, oh actually no, the majority, we'll say majority, because there's a few obscure locations where I got cells from. We'll start off with the first few cells I got. The first, say, 50 laptop batteries, we could say, came from very local laptop or computer repair places. I did buy 3 laptop batteries which were meant to be a certain capacity but weren't. I went up to a video about that. I have done maybe 3 or 4 buys from eBay of about 10-15 packs each, but not a ton. The 2 major places where I've got them from, one was a chap in Essex. He bought a load and was selling them at cost because he built what he wanted to build. So he's in Essex. I don't know if he's still got any left. He had hundreds. He had like ton bags full of them. Should really be wearing glasses for this. And the other place, I've got a I've got a laptop repair company close to me, and they have to pay to dispose of their laptop batteries, whereas if I provide them with the waste transfer note and take them off their hands without charging them, then I have the opportunity to recycle them and then take the PCBs and nickel back to them, where their scrap guy takes them, and PCBs are about £4.50 a kilo, so they certainly make their money back, and all I do is save them the waste cost. So yeah, a chap in Essex and a very local, quite big laptop battery repair company. Laptop repair company. So they're my 2 sources. That, and I work in and around schools, I guess. So you just got to ask, if you're working in a school or council building, has your IT guy got any waste laptop batteries or waste? Was it Waste electrical equipment. Oh God, can't think. Waste electrical and electronic equipment. That's it. WEEE. WEEE. WEEE waste. Providing you got the paperwork, you can normally take it away, or they give it to you. Yeah, so just depends who's around. If people are busy, don't ask. Just wait till you go back. There was the guy with the farm, yeah. He's got Glenn, I think his name. Glenn is yeah, Glenn is his name. He's on the DIY Powerwall page. What have I missed? What's Chinese? Which bit's Chinese? Oh, what the stated capacity laptop batteries that weren't going to be 2600 milliamp cells, but they were 1800. But they're all uniform. They all came out spot on 1800 milliamps, so they've gone in a temporary wall. There were 12 cell battery packs, and I think I got them for £10 each. 12 cells, below £1 a cell, for 1800 unbranded cells. You know, take it or leave it. If I had the money to waste, then I could have stopped there and then and bought tons of them battery packs, but no one's actually decided how long these knockoff Chinese batteries actually last. And what you actually see here is actually a pack of them. This is 56 knockoff or unbranded Chinese batteries here, and we'll obviously I'll put there's a note on the inside of the pack, so I know exactly how many knockoff batteries in there, and the bit of paper will probably say, or did I put it in? No, it fell out. Oh, I'll stick a sticker down for the hole, and I'll say 56 and of this type battery. Yes, so James has fished out the bin in Sainsbury's a few times, the recycling bin. Yeah, I always do that as well, sort of, not supermarkets, but in schools, so someone might slip the odd laptop battery in there. But some people would have read the instructions in the bin where it says like dry cells only or alkaline only, so they would have been like hesitant to put it in there. But yeah, I always have a look. But where I do installation and maintenance, obviously I get to know the IT guys. I've got a couple of IT friends as well. One of my friends, Zach, actually dropped me off some batteries a while back. He didn't hang around, he posted them through the letterbox, which was nice. And that is these cells here. We've got a few of them. I can't remember how many he gave me, but I had enough for this pack and half another. So yeah, probably got 80 cells out of Zachary. But I'm getting a little bit dry yet. I'm gonna have to go and warm up my cup of tea in the old microwave. I'll just get to the end of this row first. This is actually taking a little bit longer than I thought. No, if you want something and it's free and it's there, then take it. As if you've been around on my channel for a little while, you'll know that I regularly fish things out of skips, mainly wooden materials like that. But if it's going to cost me money, I don't want to spend that money, and someone's going to throw something away that suits that, then it will go in the back of the van. Yeah, obviously some holidays just been as well, so all the schools had skips. I fished out loads of wood, either to burn or make things out of. Oh, look, see, one didn't take properly. So this is a never-ending process of going around cell by cell, because what you do is you spot weld one side, you spot weld the other side, and then you have to grab something like a screwdriver. And the first test is it still mechanically connected? You go donk, 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 donk. Yeah, all the way around, both sides. See, that one wasn't, so we'd have to go around re-spot weld that one. And that one, 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 and that one. And then we do the same on the other side. Make sure it's mechanically protected. Then I'll put a crocodile clip on the nickel strip somewhere, and then I'll test for continuity across every cell from that one point on the nickel strip, so we know that all the fuses are good. And then we do that on the other side. Oh dear. And then if it's been moved around a couple of times, then I get nervous and I'd have to go around and recheck them all again. So there is a bit of OCD in this. Yeah, Glenn, buckets. I spent about an hour and a half at his place picking out similar capacity or similar size cells. I had good, say 80% success rate with the batteries, although a lot of the recommended packs were Sanyos, so never mind. All the Lenovo packs. How do I dispose of my bad cells? I haven't yet. I've got a pile. I've got a blue toolbox of shame, and it's full from bottom to top of bad cells, and I will figure that out when I'm done, because I want to have a count up. I want to have a count up of all the good cells that got into projects, all the bad cells that got into the box of shame, and we'll have a ratio of good to bad, I guess. Yes, it's one of those things. It's an overlooked resource, isn't it? And very soon, possibly, we're going to have, like, no one's going to be able to get hold of any of these cells, are they? Because we've all bought them up or recycled them, which I suppose is the point. But then we have to start buying new cells. But if you start buying new cells, then you might as well buy bigger cells. Bigger, like lithium iron phosphate, would be a better chemistry. Bigger cells, less mechanical things to be connected together, less things go wrong, less heat, less resistance. So yeah, it's never ending, but hopefully this should last a few years. It's only going to get light use. Get rid of some of the electronics and the fridge off of the mains, but it's not too bad. Yes, so your local, you have a UK local tip, and they will take the cells from you. Well, I've never found that magic bin at my local dump or tip. It's always says alkaline or lead acid batteries. It's nothing says lithium or things like that. My favourite cells, yeah, I like them as well. The pink Panasonics, the pink and the green Panasonics are brilliant as well. I've had a very low failure ratio of these. Good to bad. I've had more pinks fail, or purples, mauves, whatever you want to call them, but hardly any of these. And these work down to like 800 milliamps with no heat. It's amazing how long they last. So yeah, we're gonna have a pack of them. I think there's only 8 cells in that pack, which aren't of the Panasonic. They'll be Sony, but I've got to go and get another drink because I'm still dying. I've still got the man flu, and if my voice goes, then I won't be able to talk tomorrow. So I'll be back in a couple of minutes to carry on. Yeah, so I haven't gone far. There's 15 of you. I haven't even been looking at that. So 15 of you, and we've been going 50 minutes. So yeah, I want to get this spot welded on this side, and we call it quits. But yeah, as I say, I need to go and get a drink. Back shortly. Oh dear. Right, got the old back. Colin says there's 300 watt solar panels for £100. I think I mentioned last time, people keep recommending Bimble Solar to me, which is down in Brighton, and they take the old panels from solar farms and sell them off cheap, and then the solar farms buy better panels to install, and so they go up from, like, say they were originally 200 watts per solar panel, and then they've paid themselves off, so then they install 250s and sell off the 200s cheap, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it quite possibly could be getting some 300 watt panels for about £100. It'd be lovely. I'm just running on 480 watts of solar at the moment. That's 6 80-watt panels. So Bimble Solar, I think it is. What's got a tiled roof? Who's got a tiled roof? Oh, not my cat has joined. Hello? You go over there. Go over there. Go on, sit on that. I'd love to double mine and get 1000 watts of solar. I think I had surplus power today. Checked, as 1170 watts had been diverted into my hot water tank, or a dump load, you can call it. Don't do much unless I use it. I'm still live. Yeah. I think there's different scales of payment. If you drive down and pick them up yourself, then you save the most amount of money, but if you do like bank transfers and things, you get a lesser percentage off. But yeah, kitchen's almost there. He's just messing about dry lining the wall instead of getting his plasterer to do what he should have done, but that can't be helped. Alright, let's get the rest of this pack on the plus side, on the positive side, welded up, and we'll call it quits. So we're going about an hour now. I've recorded, but I just haven't got round to uploading it. It's the story of my life. I'll have a go tomorrow. Oh, fingers and arms. Let's move that forward. You're not there. Cat. Might spontaneously combust you. I've noticed with the 709A spot welder that as you're spot welding, the dial slowly turns itself up until you either melt the lead or end up blowing a hole through the nickel strip. Don't know if anyone else has had that trouble. I think someone said blue tack. Used blue tack on it previously, but I can't remember. Oh, hang on, I'm missing a bit. I must have had 2 odd bits. How was I going to get around that? I guess we'll just spot weld a couple of bits on top. It's going to be like a U shape anyway, so by the time it joins together it should hopefully be, or have the same resistance. Yeah, well, I'm not really worried, to be honest. My snippy tips are getting blunt. I mean, the realms are probably going to knock the circuit breaker out very soon. No, I can't do it. I won't do it. I did it before. You're still not quite in shot, are you? I will learn one day. I can smell burning. Oh, there we go, we've tripped. A 16 amp type B circuit breaker. And my bad, actually a 20 amp type B circuit breaker. I may have to solder this. Ooh. That's definitely putting out some heat because I'm melting the silicon underneath. Oh, and that's quite warm. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Surprise! Oh, bunny. Tripped. What I might do to negate that is solder some copper around the inside to give it a bit of strength and make sure it's a-okay. Ooh. Running out of cell fuses. I've got another pack here somewhere, but I've tidied up. Knock that back down to 4.5 and 6 pulses. Ooh. What are you doing? Stupid cat. What are you doing? Not allowed in there. This is my space, not yours. Look, sit there. Look, ain't it comfortable here? Thank you. I would evict you. Go on. Not performing as it was when I first started it up, unless it's starting to get a bit warm. Obviously I do want this item to last the entire length of my project, so it would be nice not to blow it up tonight. Oh, I see, it doesn't stick because we're on a nickel strip that I haven't cleaned off. This one's going to go a bit funny. I'm sure we can live with that. What's up with the palsy video on the bottom left? That's just my face, isn't it? Even though I'm too busy looking down here. I thought it was a little bit impolite just to have like half a bench on display and not be able to see my face if I do look up every so often. So I stuck my face on it. It might not be keeping up with the proper camera because it is only a netbook, a notebook, so it's got hardly any power to it, but it seems to be doing well for now, because everyone complained about my laptop because it's noisy like an aircraft taking off, so I decided against using that one. So I've got a few more until I have to rummage for the other bag of fuses. About half as many as we need. I'm definitely getting a bit tired now. So I'll try, as I say, to improve the camera angle for next week, if I do one next week. I've done years of little videos without putting my face on. And then people were like, "Oh, you got a face?" When I started doing it. It's like, yeah, it don't come out very often. I thought I'd try and make it look a little bit more professional, but as I say, if it's a bit palsy and doing what it wants to, then we'll omit it for next time. Oh dear. Should I really be wearing like goggles for this? I probably should be. First person to go blind in a spot welding accident. Battery spot welding accident. That would not be good. I've got a feeling these fumes aren't probably too good for me either. I'll be honest, I only tend to do sort of 20 fuses at a time, and then I'll come into here and do that like 2 or 3 times a day and get a pack done. Doing a whole pack in one sitting is a little bit too tedious, I think, for me. But I guess that's how some people make progress. Alright, I'll just trim these off and I'll have a look at the comments. This certainly isn't the neatest pack I've done. Maybe I'm going to have to do a select amount of work on camera, and the rest I'll have to do when I'm not talking and thinking, and especially not at the end of the day. The rude hand things. James asks, oh, tablet wants to shut down. I don't want that to shut down. James asks, why is there a couple of empty cells in the pack? That's because I'm not balancing via overall capacity. I'm actually balancing overall pack capacity against balanced amount of cells. It's not going to be a terribly high load on these packs, so I can afford to have 4 or 8 cells missing, no more than that. So every pack is 120 amp hours within sort of 400-500 milliamps so far, so I'm not overly concerned with like not being able to produce that extra half amp per cell for a load. It just doesn't concern me that much. It's all linked up and nice and working fine. Yes, not my cat is in the background. Not my cat and not your cat. We will move the camera. And you'll see when it pops up in a split second. That be not my cat. Not my cat. Pixie. Yes. It's been quiet at the moment. It wasn't earlier. Okay, we're keeping the camera. What I might do for next week is move this camera back further. But I wasn't. It came to me, the idea, earlier today, but I just didn't have time to implement that. But yeah. Is it me, or are most of the Powerwall streams actually not in this country, as in England, the UK, and mostly in America and Australia? So we never get to watch the streams firsthand. I think we need a UK Powerwall group that can live stream each other's projects, you know, fairly regularly, I guess. Yeah, I suppose I can, but what I seem to be doing is looking at the comments and talking. So I'll have to... Oh, no, that's hard work, isn't it? Oh, that, don't know where that went. Yeah, I've still got, it's 50 gigabytes of raw footage from the basement, which is half edited, but as soon as I add any more into the video editor, it crashes. I've spot welded the spot welder to the spot. Yeah, I'm getting too tired for this, I think. Yeah, as soon as I try and edit it any further down than it is already, then it throws a wobbly and crashes. I'll keep going back to it. I'll have another go this coming weekend if I get time. Because ideally what I wanted to do was get that video up and then go from there. But as it stands, you haven't missed. Well, you've missed quite a bit of the tour, because all you can see is this corner where I am, behind me, up to the edge of the bench. So you know there's a bench in here, you just don't know how I get to the bench, or what's in between the bench. I'm just going to talk myself into a corner. So yeah, it will go up when it goes up. But as I say, so many projects, so many commitments, fingers in pies. You start one project, you start another project, and then before you know it, you got 3 on the go, and it just feels like you don't make any progress. you will spot weld. Just take you a few times. Let's trim some of these off. Where do we get to? What SDS drill would I recommend for an apprentice? Well, it all depends what your hand drill is. I mean, if you take the basics, DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, and obviously I use Ryobi, but I don't care what people think. It does the job. People do laugh at you, but I've cored a 4-inch hole in double skin brick with my first Ryobi SDS drill, and all I had was the little 1.3 amp hour batteries. It took 2 of them, but I did it. But if you've already got a hand drill that's Makita, then you may as well pick up the Makita 18 volt SDS. I wouldn't go as far as providing or buying anything bigger than 18 volt because I don't even have a big drill. I have a smaller van, and the person with the bigger van carries the 36 volt wash around. It's not something that I need every day, sort of thing. But yeah, if you want an SDS, then go with whatever your drill brand is. So say if you've got DeWalt, get a DeWalt 18 volt one. It's only for light work. The company should have a bigger drill. It's standard anyway. West Coast, so yeah, you mostly seen West Coast and Australia, not many live feeds in other areas. Yeah, I mean, I had another harebrained idea. Okay, maybe someone else should implement this, but a live stream every 6 hours for a day, for an hour, as in get up 6 o'clock in the morning UK or British summertime, and do an hour long stream, have a rest, come back in 5 hours, do another hour, because I can't remember, there was a chap, his name was Peter, I had his name written down, Peter, and some numbers after his name. He said he'd endeavour to get back today, and it would be 2 AM if I started live streaming in his hometown. So I thought, if that's not a reason to make sure that I come back, then wow, come back to that one. If that's not a reason to live stream, then what is? The only live streams I caught sometimes is oh, that's moved. Is another Peter's HB Powell, but I normally only catch a little bit before he goes offline, so it's like I don't really end up watching the rest of the stream if there's nobody there. I'm not keeping up with this now. So Collins is done as for the foreseeable sort of future, because he says his Powell's up and running, and it's doing just fine. Yeah, I'd like to think that once I've got this in place, that I would have maybe 2 spare packs ready to go in case something happened and I needed to swap a pack out. Unlikely. I'll probably take it down for the week and then sort it out the weekend, sort of thing, or as I go. It's not. This isn't a Powell for me. Is not imperative. It's a hobby. Keeps me out of trouble. No, this fibrous thing is gone now. Keeps me out of trouble. Keeps me quiet. I've got to find another fibrous one of these now, otherwise I'm gonna. Well, actually no, I've got a bit usable there. It's a hobby, but it's a hobby that I'd like to keep going. So I'd like to have some cells on hand ready. Yeah, I did say, I think maybe just before you arrived, that I'm looking at the comments which is on a tablet and not looking at this camera up here because I can't physically fit the image of what's coming out to you as well as get the comments on the same part. So it's incredibly annoying. But I suppose what I could do is move the tablet over here for next time. But we will see. We will see if the general consensus that this stream has been a success. Although I don't think my spot welding is anything to be admired during the stream. Maybe I'll have to find a simpler task to do next time. Maybe just re-sleeving the cells ready. But as I say, there is a noisy bit when you're sleeving cells, and that is using the lower. Yeah. So yeah. You want to be caught up? Caught up with this project or caught up with someone else's? I will just spot this cell, and then I'll just do a quick overview for anyone who has joined. So I've got roughly enough cells to make 28 of these. Yeah, 28. Or no, just under 20. No, sorry. We've done 7. We've got enough to make another 14 of these, giving us 21, which equates to 9 kilowatts. 9.3 to be precise. These are about 440 watts a piece. Approximately 52 to 60 cells. All measured to 120 amp hours capacity. 7 in series times 3. There will be plenty to do after this evening, but we culled a lot of cells of the low quality variety and the high quality variety. High ones have gone into or will be going into a better suited project, and the low ones went into a temporary wall which was running this up until I had to use the spot welder. The temporary one's been running for about a year now and serves mostly our entertainment equipment, TV and all that, laptop down here, all my shed appliances and things. So yeah, I'm slowly making progress. Lots of people have started and finished theirs by the time I've even got really going on this. It's true. Hard to make a project when something works. Parkside power tools are quite good. Yeah, they're German made and they come with a 3-year warranty, don't they? Better than some of the. I'm on a builders talk group, and there's about 70,000 hairy ass builders on there, and they're all rage about the Parkside stuff. I think they had some sort of little brad nailer on there a little while ago for £100, 120, Von House or something, and yeah, they all went out and bought them, and they all loved them. Only for like finishing nails, but it done the trick. Yes, they do. A different stream on a different part of the process of stripping cells testing. Yeah, I've got about 20 packs that I can strip down if you want them stripped down in front on the camera. Probably do that if you wanted. Unfortunately, they're sort of OEM packs, so they're like stupidly hard to get into. I stopped recording stripping the cells down in videos because everyone else was doing it. Stripping the cells down is fairly time consuming, and yeah, I tell you what, I suppose I haven't really got bored of watching people take things apart. Am I still in view? I'm not in view, am I? All over the shop. Oh no, I am. I am. Doo-doo-doo. I like how you say leaving your project on the table will help it self-discharge if it's left alone long enough. I have a question regarding self-discharge. As a rule, and following other people's rules, leaving them charging your cells after you finish the discharge test, and then leaving them for a month to see if they do self-discharge. I'd like to ask, how far would you go with that? Because I have over here 20, 40, 60, 67 cells which were running 3.95 and to 3.85, and they'd been tested and earmarked for projects, but obviously it's been a while since I had these out, so they dropped down that far in about 6 months. My question is, I have since discharged and charged them and left them for another month, which is probably up in a couple of days with the, I can't read the date on the note, but providing they've survived the month again, would I dare put them into a pack? I don't know. I suppose I'll see in a couple of days when I check them if they've passed again. But does that mean if you've got a 60, 80 or 120 cell pack and you leave it not on charge for 6 months, say it's in a holiday place and you go away, does that mean that you've got a weak pack even though you've tested it? Or should we test for longer? I don't know. That's what I did as well. I always used to. I don't tend to watch TV. I do like Netflix and watch all these series and things and films. I don't really watch TV. I probably subscribe to hundreds of channels, but I just sit here with my tablet and watch everyone else's videos normally. I like watching people play games. It's quite interesting. Well, it is to me anyway. Oh dear, I got two. I'm not going to do the M ones. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cells left, and then I'm going to call it quits tonight because my eyes are going. I can't see for looking. So you threw out your cells that dropped below 4.24 4 volts or 4.1. That's fair enough. As I say, some of these cells have been laying around for over 6 months without any activity. So if I say they've been sat for 6 months, would you accept them into your Powerwall. I mean, some of these laptop batteries that we're getting, how long have they been sitting? And their voltages are dropping tonight. 2.7, 3 volts. We make allowances for them, but after we've tested them, should we make allowances for that cell to be redeemed? Sort of. Like if you're going to recyclers and they could be set on a laptop guy's shelf for 6 months, they get picked up, taken to the recycler, could be in the recycling facility for a couple of months whilst they build up to send them back to China. So if it's been there sort of 8 months, say, just how far do we go with making sure these cells are appropriate for our little Powerwalls? Oh, now I'm blind. Yeah, I suppose 0.1 per day with a full starting charge. But they also say we shouldn't store them at full capacity. Should be left with a storage charge because there's less self-discharge per day. I don't know how true that is. Just go by the bit of paper. It's normally the same sort of bit of paper that says don't use different brands of batteries in your remote. Oh, is it stopped? It hasn't stopped. No, it hasn't stopped. Oh, hour and a half we've been going now. I've had enough. Oh, bedtime. No, we got 4 more to do. I'm going to do the tricky bit off camera tomorrow evening, I think, and that is soldering a copper bar around here to give this more strength and rigidity, which means I have to skip it past these fuses and around here, solder it in badly, and then put a crimp eye on it, crimp lug or whatever you want to call it, a crimp thing. So I've got got an early start tomorrow as well. Whoops. Send the packs cycled or maintained daily. Good question. Self-discharge issue. I suppose if we're taking it down to, there might be 1, maybe 2 poorer quality cells that do have a high self-discharge. Then yeah, if it's a daily cycle or rotation, then we shouldn't really have a problem. The problem will only become apparent if that cell deteriorates at a greater rate than the cells that are better, or it goes without sun or charge for a period of time. But I suppose the higher the capacity of the pack, the less it matters. Like cell current draw, that's why I'm not too fussed about having exactly spot on number of cells per pack, because it will even itself out. There's higher quality cells that can produce more current, and there's lower quality cells that can't produce as much current, and in between there's going to be the mediocre cells that can do half as good as the other. So it's not massively important. The bigger the scale, I think the less trouble you have. But it'd be interesting to see if Adam can track down the weeks selling his pack 4 or 5, because that might shed some light. Is there a hidden characteristic we're not actually looking at? Maybe. No, you can't. Just thinking and talking at the same time. How long is it going to be before I snip the end of my finger off? There's always one that catches me out. I'll just snip these off. We'll have a quick look and review the comments. And I'll ask a couple of questions if I think what I was going to say. And then I'm going in, gonna have a bath, and go to bed because I've got an early start. It's another one of those jobs where you got to get to the gate as the caretaker unlocks the gate, because if he goes inside that building, there is no way that you're getting in until the next person comes along. So there we go. That's not too bad. We've it's taken an hour and a half, but we have assembled most of the top half of the pack. We've been talking. I haven't been going mega fast. Just trundling along, and hopefully we'll look a bit more like that by the time I finished. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, that is one of those key problems. This is not an instant. I mean, once assembled, it is an instant power block that can be combined with others. But as soon as there's one problem, and if that one problem doesn't blow that fuse, then really it's a case of taking that pack out of service, putting another pack in to keep you going, and then problem solving. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of difficult. This is where maybe what's his name, Jehu's idea comes in, of the cell holder power wall. But at the end of the day, it's quite bulky for what you get. You have to have a bigger space, a lot more money invested in hardware, and yes, okay, you can pull it apart, but it's going to take just as long to pull apart Jehu's idea to find that bad cell as it is to snip all the cells on this and pull all the cells out. So there is no perfect way yet, but I'm sure if everyone keeps doing their little bit and bringing different things to the table, then there might be a perfect solution out there for this kind of power wall. When I first started stripping down laptop batteries for cells for various little projects, I was bump starting some of those cells from practically 0 volts. This is before I'd learnt of the TP4056 and the fact that it can recover some quite low voltage cells successfully. But I'll be honest, I still have cells. Sorry, don't cough again. I've got these 4 cells here. These were from one of the first cells that I tested, LG7. And I'm sure if we go back through my videos, there'll be a book, a little book, where I had written the I don't know why we're LG there, because they're obviously not the Panasonic, so that shows how much I knew back then. But it went on the LG column in that book. I've probably still got that book in the shed somewhere. It fell down the back, I know, because I saw it the other day. But yeah, I've still got cells from that first time round, and be interesting to actually retest that against the results, because it hasn't done anything since that day, or that last project it was in. So yeah, Yeah, so I'm going to call it quits. It's now 9 o'clock at night. Hour and 41 minutes we've been going, and I'm shattered. So we'll give it a couple more minutes for everyone to say their goodbyes, and any last questions or anything to think about for the next time, stick it in the comments. It's almost time for a lemon sip. That's right, you're more than welcome. If you think of anything that we can do in the meantime for next time, or if anyone else would like to do a live stream midweek or end of week, then I'm sure we can come up with some sort of schedule or something. Or maybe even Skype. Is Skype even a thing now? I don't know. I've seen it on some things where they have like one person hosts it, and then you have pictures of or video feeds of the other 2 people or 3 people. So we can have a online video chat or something. It's beyond me. I'll give it that. I mean, I had enough trouble setting up 2 cameras, so, and a microphone. Brilliant. And this is this feels a whole lot more easier than putting up a video and then get a comment here, comment there, comment here, comment there, and you're bouncing back every so often. But this is more interactive than well, obviously it's live, more interactive than just sticking a video up and this is what I've done and I'm showing it to you, sort of thing. So yeah. Alright, counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Night night everyone. Stop stream.